Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Mike.
I'm Sham.
And in today's video will be part 2.
We'll be continuing the conversation about our fertility journey. If you guys are new here or if you haven't seen part 1, make sure you check it out before watching part 2. Link it up here and we'll link it in the description box. So yeah, make sure you check that out. Make sure you're all caught up. But part 2 is basically continuing that conversation.
Yep.
In part 1 we kind of covered the beginning part of that journey, what happened after we got married, first year or two, right? Roughly, yeah, first year or two of that journey for us. So yeah, if you want to see what we're talking about in part 2, just keep on watching.
Yep.
Keep on
We
watching.
mentioned in our first part that we tried for a year or two. Then we decided to just stop going to the doctor and just try and doing everything on our own. And we decided after that it wasn't working that we should go back to the doctor and find out a little bit more into details exactly what is going on and why is it not happening, even though it's only been like 2.5 to 3 years going into it. So she went to the doctor. The doctor told her that he was going to run some other tests. He ran blood work again. And then he went ahead and did a test, or he sent her to do a test.
Yeah, it was what they call a dye test. I don't remember the proper term. I'll look it up and I'll put it on the screen for you guys. But basically they want to check if your tubes are blocked. So they shoot a dye, whatever tool they use, syringe or something, but they shoot a dye and they want to see using ultrasound to see if the dye goes all the way through the tubes. You have 2 tubes, one on the left, one on the right. So they shoot the dye in to see how, it gets dispersed. Didn't really know what to expect with that. I feel like at that time I still didn't understand what was happening, like how you're not ovulating and stuff like that. But I had to go to Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Probably Fort Lauderdale.
It was Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, that was my first time going into like a fertility clinic to get that test done. He couldn't do it with your regular OBG. I think looking back now, I'm like, I should have probably gone to a fertility doctor to begin with. Because I feel like the OBG, they're limited on how much they do, because I felt like I spent 2 years or so doing Clomid over and over again, trying to see if it will work. So yeah, if you've done it like a year or so, like we said in the last video, if you've been trying for over a year, you go to your OBG, they do the initial stuff and they don't really see anything wrong or don't really know, just go to a fertility
seek for a fertility specialist.
Yeah, because they will know more about the fertility process, obviously. So it was stressful for us. Like I said, it became a job to do this all the time. On a schedule all the time. You start to think like, why are you struggling? Why, like, I never thought that it would be me struggling.
And mind you, we seen news of like babies being abandoned or a mother leaving the baby inside the car. And we just all that is getting into our mind. And it's like, why us? There's people out that don't want kids.
And then on the flip side of it too, you see people like right away on their honeymoon night.
And it's like, why?
So you see it on one side where it's like quick and fast and right away, and then on the other side you see people don't really want kids and it's happening for them, and you're sitting there struggling. I felt like we had, at that point, we didn't have a house or anything for ourselves yet, but I felt like we were in a good space to where we would be ready, and it wasn't happening. Yeah, and that's when my doctor sent him to do his own semen analysis, because he wanted to be sure like there was nothing wrong with him. Like we told you guys in part 1, he had already done it on his own just to check, but now doctor needed for his records and stuff to show that he did it for him to check. And I think it was the same doctor's office you went to.
I think so.
Same center to get it done.
Yep.
So you can do stuff like that on your own, but they still end up doing it that way.
Yeah.
So when the results came back, I don't remember if he showed me pictures. Maybe, I think so. I think they kind of showed like the dye being first of all, the procedure was painful. So right away I knew there was like something wrong, because basically if it's blocked, they will try to force it. So they did the procedure, I get the results back, and it was like, okay, on one side more dye went through than the other. So he explained it like, okay, one looks partially blocked and I think the other one was blocked or something like that. The way he explained it, it didn't seem as bad. Like in my mind, I was registering like there is a chance.
Yeah, there was still a chance.
Yeah. And he didn't go too much in depth of it. It was just kind of like, okay, one side looks this way, the other side looks that way. I don't remember what he did after that. I know at some point he recommended that I do go to a fertility specialist. That's what I remember.
After he recommended that he wanted to go to the fertility specialist, we thought about that time, like, are we financially ready for something like this? Because we looked up the prices.
Stuff. Yeah, I think we
found out that it can cost up to $25,000, and we were like, I don't think we can afford that right now.
So we took another break.
from
the doctor to try on our own.
And we tried for our own for all the way up to
like another year, roughly.
So
that's what I remember.
I moved out here and started a new career, new job, and she came out here. When she came out here, we decided that, hey, we're in a stable condition. We are good. We should try again. This time, let's go to a specialist. And we went ahead. We met up with the lady.
I had to ask for a referral from OBG. Yeah, I had to find, because obviously we had only been out here like a year. Yeah. So we had bought the house and everything, and finally we're like, okay, let's start over again. Find a doctor here. So speaking to like coworkers and stuff, I found an OBGYN, and she told me to just ask the OBGYN for like a referral. So the OBG gave me the referral for Dr. Duke. They're Nevada Fertility Institute here in Vegas. So looked them up and everything, and we went out for like a consultation.
Yeah, so we went for the consultation and we talked about it, and pretty much
they wanted to do their own.
They wanted to do the whole thing all over again. All over again.
So they have to check everything for themselves. So starting from top to bottom. When we went to the specialist, she checked everything again. She did like blood work, the general stuff, check all that. Then they did I suck at remembering all the names for the procedures. They checked the house itself, so your uterus itself, to see if there's any issues there. And then they check your tube again. So on the house, they found polyps. Didn't even know what polyps were called or what they are. But polyps are basically like little cysts, little things that grow on your uterus. I don't think they were giving me any pain at the time or anything like that, but they have to be removed because they can affect the baby. If you get pregnant, they can affect that. Found the polyps, so now I have to do like a surgery to get them removed. So they put you to sleep. They don't cut you or anything, but they have to go in and like take them out. So I had like 3 polyps, got those removed, and they can come back. So that's another issue. And then they do the tube, and they confirmed that my tubes were blocked. When they went to try to like unblock it, that thing did not budge. That was so painful, and it was just like hard. So they do all that, and then you have like another consultation where they sit down with you and explain basically what they saw from the results. And she also told me that I had PCOS. For those of you that don't know what PCOS is, it's called polycystic ovarian syndrome. That's what it is. So it's just basically a term to put you in a category of you have irregular periods, all your tubes are blocked or something. So all the stuff that are affecting pregnancy. So it's just a broad like category for all those people who have different difficulties with getting pregnant.
I mean, I can't say what I remember, because everything that she did, like, she pretty much went through it. I don't want to say she did it by herself, because I was still there.
Yeah, but majority
of all her appointments was pretty much her and her relaying all the message that she went through with me. I did take her to the doctor so she can get those polyps removed.
Yeah, somebody had to do that. That was my first time being put to sleep too.
Yeah.
Basically, when it comes to your tubes being blocked, you don't really have that many options moving forward, basically, because they have like surgeries that you can do to attempt to open up your tubes, but I don't want to quote or misquote the percentage, but there's like the percentage of when it actually works was pretty low. So it wasn't like a situation where it's like, okay, if you do this surgery, it's guaranteed to work 80%.
No. It was more or less like, this is what I remember
like
from what she said.
or something.
No, it was lower than that. She's like, if we do that, try to reopen the tubes, that's not a guarantee that it will close again. That was our biggest thing. We're like, so we're wasting money.
And that surgery costs money.
Yeah, so we can get them open, and then we're not so guaranteed to actually stay open. And if they do stay open, she said that it was like 23% chance of you still getting pregnant.
Yeah, even with it
versus like a regular person, which it's not. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it seems like it is a lot, because majority of the people that get pregnant actually falls in that category, which is like, I think she said between 27 and 30% chance of any female of getting pregnant. Those who don't have any complications as far as like the ovaries and the tubes.
And most times it's like you have two fallopian tubes. So if one is open, then they can try IUI. It's the one where they put the sperm where it needs to be, and they would have to still like time it and figure out, because it alternates which side the egg come from. So you'd have to figure out which side it's coming from and then try to catch that side. So that would have been a whole nother process. I'm trying to remember what else she explained during that time, but if your tubes are blocked, your chances are more than likely, if like I said, if one is open, you can do IUI, but if both of them are closed, your only choice is probably going to be IVF. That's the only other choice. So for us, that was hard, because it was like, seriously, like I have to go through this. It's just one of those things that you're like, why do I have to go through this? So the beginning parts of it was still expensive, because every test you have to pay for them to do the tubes, you have to pay for the uterus itself, you have to pay for to get the polyps removed. So it was just a bunch of stuff in those first few months that I feel like mentally I wasn't prepared for, but I knew I had to get it done. So it was a stressful time for us too, because it was just like I shut down. We'll go more into the emotional, like how it impacts us during that time, but for the general idea of what that was, it was hard. So like we said, the options were not very many at that point. I don't like any surgery. I don't want to have to do any surgery. Plus the surgery was expensive anyway. So it was just like, okay, that's not an option. So the only other option, IVF.
But with somebody like Shamoya, she had both of them blocked. So that wasn't a choice at all for us. Like we thought about it like long term, as far as like what it would actually affect, how it would affect us, and financial wise, and we thought IVF was the way to go for us. So again, don't think about it like, oh well, you had an option. Yeah, we had an option, but it wasn't our option. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't our option as to say, let's go that route.
Yeah, we chose the route that we thought would work the best in that moment. Well, after that, we made the decision to try the IVF. So our next few videos will be breaking up the process from start to finish of the IVF journey. So now we've gone from fertility journey. Well, it's still fertility journey, but now we're gonna get more in depth the IVF process. So if you want to see what that process was like, make sure you guys keep on watching or subscribe so you don't miss that.
Turn on the notification bell so you know when we post.
And we'll be posting every Sunday.
It is every Sunday, just in case you don't want to turn on the notification bell, because I know how annoying that could be be having that notification pop up.
It just pop up. It ain't hurting you.
That is true, but it's like you're watching something else and it just pops up. You're like,
the video is here. Go watch.
But yes, for real, just make sure you guys subscribe and turn on the notification bell, like this video, so the next one can come up and it can push our videos out there more, so you can actually see it. So, but yeah, until next time, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.